not taken by Robert Frost. Yeah, so initially we had a little analysis of the theme of the poem, how it goes on with. So today we'll go for a formal discussion on it. So the poem is written by Robert Frost. We need to go for it. We need to understand a little bit about it. About the author. We already had a presentation, you read one from PowerPoint, So let's know the author. See, Robert Law Frost, his full name is Robert Lee Frost. Okay, born on March 26, 1874, and passed away on January 29, 1963. He was an American poet. His work was initially published in England before it was published in America. He is highly regarded for his realistic depictions, presentations of rural life, and his command of American colloquial speech, local speech. Okay, spoken one. Frost was honored frequently during his lifetime, receiving 4 Pulitzer Prizes for poetry. He became one of America's rare public literary figures, almost an artistic institution. He was awarded the Congressional Gold Medal in 1960 for his poetical works. So it's okay? Clear? About the poem. The poem, The Road Not Taken, was first published in 1916. Okay. It shows Frost at his best as a pastoral who combines rustic simplicity with hidden, indirect and clarity of style and language. You must have seen that 2 roads diverge in a yellow wood. So it's like forest. Forest. At the same time, the way it was presented, the way it was presented and all. So it came up very beautifully about the, you can say, the beauty of the forest and a human life and its problem of choice, the roads and all. So we understand from it how it went on with. Okay, so it has got this pastoral feature, like you may say pasture. You understand, from the word pasture comes the word pastoral. Okay, so pastoral features who combines rustic simplicity, everyday normal life simplicity with hidden indirect clarity of style and language. Both are very beautiful. You must have observed it. We will analyze the linguistic features of the poem. Poem's title, let's see. Road. Why the road? The road not taken. So actually, the road is the symbol of the choice made by us in life. Many times we regret the choice we make, but what is done once cannot be undone. We know it. What is done cannot be undone. So this is what? Road. So road not taken. This is the main thing. Man regrets for what he has denied himself in life rather than what he has chosen. This is what we do. We regret for the things that we have denied or that we deny in life. Okay, here the poet has given his poem the title Road, the Road Not Taken. Point is clear? Point is clear?
Yes, sir.
The word road not only means way, it also means journey or a stage of life. Here, road does not signify any ordinary road, but functions a metaphor of a vital decision in our life. Is the point clear to you?
Yes.
Just read it silently for a while. Oh. Okay. Read basics of it, the road, then how it is related to human life. Okay, and the road not only means way, it also means journey, and a stage of journey of life also. Up to this is clear. Road here, road does not signify any ordinary road, but functions a metaphor, implied comparison between, you can say, vital decisions in our life. Clear? Now the poem. We'll go with the summary because we have already read. Then I will again explain the things to you. Okay. This poem talks about the choices one has to make in life and their consequences. One day, while walking in a wooded area, you may have read the poem, so we understand the general literal meaning of the poem. While walking in a wooded area full of trees, the poet comes to a place where he has to decide which road he should take. He starts debating over the choices as he realizes he cannot walk on both. However, he decides to take the second path with the intention of traveling on the first some other time in future. Understood? Okay, you have one task also. You have read the poem, we have got an understanding of the poem. Based on that understanding, we will draw a painting, picture at home. On a page, we will draw a painting kind of thing that should explain the poem. Right from the traveler to the wood. The face of the traveler should express the contents shared in the last stanza. I shall be telling these with a sigh. So this should be like this. Imagination, in the imagination, the poet, thoughtful, aged, and all. You understand? I have given you some clues. You will have to draw it. Okay? And this will be your homework for everyone. Share the same thing in the group. After this video is shared in the group, it is to be shared with them. That will be everyone's homework. Okay? Done? Okay, let's take the poem now. Two roads diverged in a road, I could not travel both. And be one traveller, long I stood, and looked down one as far as I could, to hear it bend in the undergrowth. So the basics, two roads diverged and all. The speaker describes his position in the first stanza. He has been out for walking in the woods and comes in between the diversion of two roads. He stands there looking as far down each one as he can see. He would like to try out both, but doubts he could do that. So, therefore, he continues to look down the roads for a long time, trying to make his decision about which road to take. Clear? Now, then took the other. So, first road he observed, then he started looking at the other road. Then took the other as just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted air. Though as for that, the passing there had warned them really about the same. He looked down the first one to where it bent in the undergrowth, and then, so this line was there.
Yes.
Then the second one, and he decided to take the other path because it seemed to have been less traveled. Okay, it seemed to have less traveled than the first. But then he goes on to say that they actually were very similarly warm. Very similarly owned, rather, not warm, owned. Were or owned. Covered up and all. Okay. Covered up, damaged and used. The second one that he took seems less traveled, but as he thinks about it, he realizes that they were really about the same. No difference at all. Not exactly the same, but only about the same, almost. Clear? And both that morning equally lay in leaves, no step had trodden black. We understand the meanings? Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way. I doubted if I should ever come back. See, the third stanza continues with the cogitation. What is it? With the cogitation about the possible difference between the two roads. What is it? He had noticed that the leaves were both fresh fallen on them. Both means both the roads, you understand, and had not been walked on. But then again claims that maybe he would come back and also walk the first one. Sometimes. But he doubted he would be able to because in life one thing leads on to another and time is short. So you hardly have any chance of coming back and rework. It is not possible. Understood? That realization was also there. And then comes the last stanza. I shall be telling this with a sigh, somewhere ages and ages hence, two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. In this poem, the word difference in the last stanza, if you observe, the word difference is taken in a positive way. All the difference. So we will try to get a glimpse of it. But there is nothing in the poem that suggests that this difference signals a positive outcome. The speaker could not offer such information because he has not lived the difference, which is a future difference yet. The other word that leads to non-discerning readers astray, means you find no way, okay, is the word sigh. Now it may be sigh of relief, it may be sigh of anguish, who knows? You understand? That's why while reciting also you cannot say, I shall be telling this with a sigh. No. The sigh should be neutral sigh. It may go either way. You never know what is in the box for you in future. So the other word that leads non-discerning readers astray is the word sigh. By taking difference to mean a positive difference, they think that the sign is one of nostalgic relief about the past. However, a sigh can also mean regret. There is the oh dear kind of sigh. You understand it? But also the what a relief kind of sigh. You understand both the sighs? Okay. What one is it? That is the question. We do not know the answer to it, if we take the poem neutrally. If it is the relief sigh, then the difference means the speaker is glad that he took the road he did. If it is the regret sigh, then the difference would not be good. Okay, and the speaker would be sighing in regret. I hope the content is clear. Clear? And you see the repetition of the line, the last stanza as it comes up. I shall be telling this with a sigh, somewhere ages and ages hence, 2 roads reversed in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. All the difference. So if you look at it, the content and all, you will understand how beautifully the stress on and I took the one less traveled by. Get the idea, the stress on it, it's me who took the decision. I'll be telling this with sigh in future. Okay, and that sigh may have 2 connotations. Understood? Maybe sigh of relief, maybe sigh of regret. It all depends on his success or failure that awaits him in future. Okay. So the central message of the poem, Robert Frost's poem, The Road Not Taken, seems to hold out the mortal that, so you can say moral, not mortal, it's a typo. Hold out the moral that life is a continuous journey, full of divergence now and then. It always takes changes, continues changing its route. The important thing is to move on without looking back, whether the choice of paths taken was right or wrong. The right or wrong are relative terms. We cannot get everything in life and have to make choices. Whatever direction in our life takes is determined by the choice made by us. In the journey of life, one can seldom come back to travel the roads not taken earlier. Understood? So, this now. Ready? Huh? Ready? Huh? The poet stood at the intersection of
an autumn forest.
Woods which is yellow in color.
Wood which is yellow in color.
So there are differences in opinion. Differences in opinion. Let's see. How can a wood be yellow in color? Can you color it yellow? So it must be a seasonal thing. So It is in autumn that we find our forest yellow. Got it? You cannot come up with it. You cannot come up with it also. Understood? Next, the poet regrets that
He could not travel both the roads simultaneously.
He
First
could
one.
not travel.
first one in agreement. So correct. The poet finally chooses the road.
Less travel.
Third one, which very few trodden on.
Last one.
Sure.
Third one.
My goodness, differences in opinion.
Third one.
The poet chooses the road which was very trodden by very few people. Okay. So I took the one less traveled by. Less traveled by. So that is the main thing.
Yes, sir.
Understood? Next question. Quote a line from the poem to show that it was not easy for the poet to decide which route to follow.
Long I stood.
I'm sorry, I could not follow the boat.
Read the question again. Quote the line that show that it was not easy for the poet to decide which route to follow. So,
Third one or fourth one, sir?
my goodness, you cannot come up with two options. You have to come up with one only.
Third one. Third one, sir. Long I stood.
Okay.
Fourth one.
Yes, third one.
Third one. Third one.
Long I stood because he was
My other
perplexed.
answers are correct, sir.
Very good, very good, very good. So the thing is, what you understand, which road to follow? He was in indecision. So you have to. Long I stood to introspect. I am in doubt. Should I take the right one or left one? Understood? Next question. Pick out the lines which says that the two roads looked similar that morning.
Fourth one. Both that morning.
Fourth one.
Fourth one. Yes, if all of you are with it, then what can I do? I also have to agree with you.
Majority decision.
No, it's not about majority. Thoughts and all are working. Way leads on to way. Way leads on to way.
Where is third one? Third one.
Sir, none of this.
Third one.
None of this.
Third one.
None of this.
Third one, sir. Third one.
Confirmed?
Yes. None of this. No answer.
Left to you.
Sir, none of this.
Third one.
Way leads on to way. That must be kept in mind. Way leads on to
One road joins another road ahead.
Third one.
leads on to way.
First one or third one? Confused.
Third one. Third one.
Think over it.
Sir, third one.
Way leads
One road
on
joins another
to
road
way.
ahead.
Third one.
Exactly. This is the answer. So I hope we have understood the poem. So as I asked you to draw, you'll have to draw and express the thoughts expressed in the poem through your painting. Clear? Done?
Yes, sir.